I'm live. Okay, I was trying to go live on a couple of minutes ago. Get this out, and I couldn't. Let me. I have to do my nails. Top chat, live chat. Okay, welcome to the chat. Remember, I want to make sure my chat is on. Didn't have credit church yesterday, right? I was hello, hello, hello. You like when I say that? Kenneth, hello, hello, hello. Texas is in the house. Didn't have credit church on yesterday. So I want to make sure I do a quick video today. I have some things, a lot of things I'm scheduled to do today. So I didn't know. Thank you already for getting the thumbs up and showing some digital love, and also taking care of the do now, putting your state in. I know people are not used to me going live at this time. Um, but I hope they're ready to learn for lunch, right? Ready to lunch and learn. Timothy Richardson, what's up? What's going on? Uh, Man, my other office today, right? As I told you all, I coach basketball as well. Let me show you all some parts of my other office. That's my basketball stuff. Oh, let me show you all here. Championship posters. So, yeah, this is where I am today, but I'm still going to discuss credit and cash flow, right? Every dollar counts. Every dollar counts. So if you can hear me well, let me know. Hit thumbs up. Let me know if you can hear me. Um, I don't have my microphone or anything right here in front of me. But I did not have credit church on yesterday, so I need you all to do this. This is your do now for today. This is your do now for this video. Proverbs 15 and 22. This is the coaching Bible, right? Proverbs 15 and 22. So what? All right, thank you, Timothy. I want you to put in PROV for Proverbs, PROV 15 and 22. PROV 15:22. Proverbs 22. Plans fail when there is no counsel, but with many advisors, they will succeed, right? So I didn't do my credit church on yesterday, but if I would have done it, this would have been our opening scriptures. Thank you so much, Timothy. Thank you so much for that. Proverbs 15 and 22. Plans fail when there is no counsel, right? But with many advisors, your plans will succeed. And I wanted to drop this video. I had a live call that I really, really enjoyed on Saturday. And so just want to make every one of your dollars, I want to make it count, right? I want to make every dollar count for you. I want to make every investment that you are making to build your dreams, to build your goals, um, to do the things that you want to live in life, to stop living paycheck to paycheck, to whether you know cut in hours on your job, whatever your goals, whatever your aspiration is. But there are some people who have gotten some advice, and it may be costly advice. It may cost them hundreds of dollars. It may cost them thousands, right? And because of that, some people have a wrong perception on getting consultation when it comes to enhancing their credit or improving their cash flow, right? Whether it's enhancing their credit or improving their cash flow. Some people have a scarcity mentality or a scam or scarcity mentality, simply because of their own decisions that they made, meaning that, um, I have a scarcity or a scam mentality because I didn't pay as agreed, and now I have this fear that if I invest in myself, because it's an investment, it's not a cost or a payment, invest in myself financially, that maybe this person will not perform as they supposed to. Maybe I will, and a lot of time this investment, when you are talking about building your personal credit or business credit, it can be within the hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? But just know that bad credit is more expensive than having good credit. And so, as of any business that you can get involved with, you have some good business practices that happen. Sometimes you have bad business practices. Sometimes it's just a lack of communication, right? You didn't know, you thought getting certain things deleted or updated from your credit would help it. I just had someone that I was communicating with on Facebook, for example, who was just trying to get approved for a basic Chase credit card, right? One of the questions that I asked was, he was like, I have high credit scores. I'm in the 720s. I'm in the 700 club. Why did I get denied for a Chase Sapphire personal card? I said, well, how many inquiries do you have, right? This person, I think, said six within in the last year. Well, when it comes to Chase, they have the 524 rule, meaning that if you have five inquiries or more in 2 years, it's automatic denial, right? So that was number one. That was one of the issues. Number two, I inquired about what current cards do you have on your current credit report right now, right? What current cards do you have? And this person said, I have a secure card for $300, and I have Amex, some type of Amex card, but I don't know what type of Amex it was, but it's not showing on all, it doesn't report on all three credit scores, right? Well, first you need to do for Chase Inc., Kenneth. Actually, that's a good question because yes, the 524 does apply for Chase Inc. And I also help people with approval for Chase Inc. in specific because I did some underwriting for Chase for approval, and so I help people specifically with that card. So yes, the Chase, the 524 rules of having more than five or more inquiries within the last 2 years applies for the Chase Business Inc. as well. So one of the things that you need to know, and that goes into the topic of trade lines, is that you need to have your own personal primary credit, established credit reporting on your credit report, right? Meaning that you need to have one of the major credit cards, Discover, Amex, Visa, or MasterCard, preferably with a $10,000 to $15,000 credit limit. But if you have a $5,000 credit limit, that you could get approved as well. And why credit limit is so important on your personal credit report, because when applying for business credit cards, they will often mirror your highest credit limit on your personal credit card, right? And so if I have a $10,000 personal credit card, Discover, Amex, Visa, or MasterCard, then my likelihood of getting qualified for a $10,000 to $15,000 credit card is very high. But you want to make sure that your debt ratio on your personal credit cards are 10% or lower, meaning that you can't have a $10,000 Discover card or a Chase, a Visa or MasterCard, and you owe $8,000 balance, right? You need to have $1,000 or less owed on that card. So you have to position yourself to get approved for business credit. And oftentimes with me, a lot of people that work and have a job and they have a W-4 income, right? Then I introduce the W-4 wealth strategy so they can find an additional 200 to $600 out of their paycheck that they did not know they had legally by knowing adding a business kit that would add more allowances and increase their tax deductions, so they get taxed less out of their paycheck, which increases their take home pay. And they also get more business tax deductions, so they don't have to pay additional fees or obligations to their tax return where they don't have a higher tax debt, right? Or they are getting the same amount in their refund that they were receiving all year. And so that's a win-win situation. And so I gave this person two links, right? I gave them two links. One was to 𝒞𝓋𝑒 Direct, and the other link was to my Jewelers Club. Both 𝒞𝓋𝑒 Direct and my Jewelers Clubs are charge cards, and they do a soft pull on your credit report because I just mentioned that you can't have more than 5 inquiries, right? And they give you that high credit limit that will give you the next move to now. I have two charge cards with $5,000, which is, like a finger hook card or, with a very high credit limit. And you have products that you purchase from their website. And it's your trade line, it's primary. Because now underwriters for business credit, once they see that you have AU, authorized users trade lines, on your credit report, it's not like it was in the 2000s where you can get approved. They don't approve you anymore, right? But let me make this disclaimer out here. But AU, authorized users trade lines, will benefit you in a way that if you have, like my first business ink card, for example, I had three, three personal credit cards that were $5,000 credit limit. A friend of mine, added me as an authorized user on his Bank of America card that had a $10,000 credit limit. So my first business card, because of that credit limit, was a $10,000 business card because of being an authorized user. So everybody, as I stated earlier, situation is custom, is tailored. If you have strong cards, if you have preferably two strong cards, but you have a $5,000 credit limit on those cards, then it would benefit you to get a higher AU credit limit added, right? Just so your credit limit on your business card can increase. But that's the only way it can benefit you. If you don't have strong trade lines personally assigned to you already in position, then more than likely you will not get approved for business credit cards. And you want business credit cards because they offer higher credit limits, and the ones I recommend do not show the debt or whatever the charges that you make. It doesn't even report on your personal credit report, right? So if you want to connect with one of my processors, my email is in my description. Just send me an email concerning you can get your business credit consultant signed up. So, real quick, for the people that's watching live, do you want to know anything about debt collectors? If not, I can go ahead and end this live, and I can discuss that tonight. If the people that's watching out live, if you don't have any issues with debt collectors or anything, then we don't have to discuss that. Do you have any questions about AU trade line and primary trade line? Just know that AU trade lines will not help you in the business credit or the mortgage world, right? You will have, and a lot of times people say, hey, I'm in the high 700s. They're talking about their credit karma score or their Vantage score. But in the business world, right, they look at your FICO score, FICO 8, which is with the banks and mortgage lenders as well. So having or purchasing other people's credit history by being AU trade lines will not get you approval for a mortgage or business credit. What it will do, it may give you approval for vehicles, right? For a vehicle loan, and it will position you to get approved for your own personal credit cards if you don't have a major credit card reporting. But as I stated earlier, you can do that with 𝒞𝓋𝑒 Direct and my Jewelers Club for like $300, because a lot of people pay $500 and even thousands of dollars for AU trade lines. So if you don't have a personal credit card, you can get those two accounts, get that $5,000, and you're not denied, right? Which is way better than spending $300 or $500 on a secured credit card. You're not denied, and um, now you can position yourself because, as I said, your personal credit cards look at your highest credit limit, and that charge card would give those two charge cards would give you a really, really high credit limit. So I will now get into debt collectors. When a company charges off your debt, The debt is canceled for you also. Or when a company sells your debt, the debt is canceled for you also. So I want to talk about that because every dollar counts. And I did get that from Mr. Dave Ramsey. And so if you can save hundreds or thousands of dollars on getting the services or having the knowledge, maybe you already have the knowledge. Hello, Paul. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, Kenneth, does your brother, even though he has new coats over a year, do you know if he has a personal credit card? Also, because new coats it's revolving credit, it is a charge card. But for the business credit, let's get you a you need a personal credit card as well. So let me know if he has a Discover, Amex, Visa, or Mastercard. So I want to talk every dollar counts. I got that. So if you are watching this live on the replay, you can put that in the statement. Every dollar counts. Every dollar counts, just like with me. Every time, every second counts. And so I want to show you um, someone's. So Paul, are you interested in business credit? Maybe you I don't want to talk about debt collecting today. That's fine. Paul, are you interested in business credit? Let me know. It's my microphone showing, just so you all know. Like, what's that piece? Okay. All right. So, Paul, this is what you would need. You need no negatives on your personal credit report within the last 2 years. No late payments. No bankruptcies ever to qualify for business credit. No tax liens. Well, tax liens shouldn't be on there anyway. Um, no charge offs and no collections in within the within 2 years. Right. You need a major credit card that's yours, not authorized users. So your major credit cards need or credit card. If you have two, is better, right? But your major credit card should have the debt ratio under 30%. I prefer 10%. So if you have a $5,000 credit card, $10,000 credit card, for example, then the balance owed on that will be for the $10,000 card should be 3,000 or less. For the $5,000 card, $1,500 or less. Um, a lot of times when you try to apply for business credit and those balances are high, they will tell you you have to pay down those card balances before you'll get approval for your business credit, right? No more than five inquiries, five pull on your credit report within 24 months or 2 years. Another thing about applying for business credit and credit cards in general, well, business credit in particular, is that income matters, right? Not only does your credit score matters, but your income matters. So, what matters with business credit is, or the difference with business credit is, you can put your projected income. But what a lot of people don't know or understand, and why they need business credit counseling, is that you can put a projected income that may be too low and get denied, or if it's too high, they will ask for your financial statements to prove that income. So you need to know the sweet spot. That's what they say in softball. You need to know, okay, if my company, I'm projecting my company will make this X amount of income in 2 or 3 years, right? And if you're not making an income, you don't need to put a very high number, because it'll ask you for the financials to prove that. So you need to know how to enter your financial projections. Um, Also, you don't need this. You can be a sole proprietor, meaning you do not have to be incorporated. You don't have to be an LLC. You don't have to be a corporation. But I highly advise people to be a LLC or a corporation. And this is why. LLC stands for Limited Liability Company, which means you have limited liability protection, which means if you are if you're in the lawn services business and you are cutting someone's yard and a rock break a window, or you are in the makeup industry and someone has a allergic reaction to the makeup, or you're a barber, or whatever your business service is, you are transportation business, Uber driver or something, and you have an accident on a job, you want to protect your personal assets. So you want an LLC. An LLC takes care of your personal belongings that you've acquired and protect those from lawsuits. Corporations protect your personal belongings and your money, right? And so that's a big thing. I have both an LLC and a corporation to protect my finances, right? So what's up? What's up, Miss Musclehead? What's going on? Hey, Muscle, how's Georgia today? And so I mean, that's not a requirement, but I do tell people that you definitely your food catering service providers, all of that, protect yourself. CYA always be looking to cover your ass or your assets. Um, so again, AU trade lines cannot be used for business credit or mortgages. And if you look at AU trade lines, it clearly states when you pull it up, whether you have Credit Karma, whatever your monitoring services, it clearly state authorized users. So that's why it doesn't work um, for business credit. That's right. That's right. But Musclehead, we're gonna get you in a position where your money is working hard from you, right? Another thing, I want to get into debt collection debt because this is something I did get from Dave Ramsey. He said every dollar counts, and I do believe in baby steps. And I do believe in saving everybody every dollar, whether it's out of their paycheck or from debt collectors. Because, and then some, and I want people to understand is when it comes to getting collections deleted off of your credit report as well, right? Getting collections deleted off of your credit report, that once you pay a debt, you are stating that the debt is valid and it will not be removed because you are legitimizing the debt. You're stating that the debt is valid, right? And so I have some people that I consult with, and they say, I'm trying to get this charge off removed. I'm trying to get this collection removed. And they are paying on the debt. So there's no need to ask to validate. There's no need to say it's not accurate. And so that's one thing. But I'm talking about saving yourself hundreds or thousands of dollars by knowing how to dispute the debt collector directly when you receive the notice in the mail that a debt collector is trying to collect from you. Every dollar counts. I want you all to put this in the comments. And if you're watching live, what I need you to do is, with you're on your phone or laptop, hit the X real quick and hit the thumbs up, and then come back into the live chat. Come back into the live chat. And if you're just coming in, I did not have credit church on yesterday, but my scripture was Proverbs 15 and 22. Um, Proverbs 15 and 22, because I started with the scripture. Someone was telling me they were denied for personal credit. Thank you so much, Musclehead. They was denied for personal credit, and I gave this person two links to 𝒞𝓋𝑒's Direct and my Jewelers Club, and they was very skeptical and Hector, why are you giving me these links? Well, you have a secure credit card for $300. You're not going to get approved for a personal or business credit card. So that's number one. So now you need to have two charge cards reporting with a high credit limit. So both of these charge cards have $5,000 credit limit, and you can't get denied. And it's way least expensive than paying for someone to be an authorized trade line. And it's yours. It belongs to you. You're not riding somebody else's credit success, right? By being an authorized user. Hello, Gene. And so the scripture was for credit church was Proverbs 15 and 22. I want you all to put that in the comment as well. Proverbs, PROV 15 and 22. Plans fail when there is no counsel, but with many advisors they succeed. And I'm trying to, I'm not trying, I am giving you advice right now that's going to change your financial life and your financial future. Plans fail, right? They fail when you don't walk into the counsel of or guidance of wise counsel, right? So this is an example. This is not my debt, but I do have an example in front of you. If you can see this, I don't know how it will show. Okay, but it's showing 17,000 debt collector, and after the first validation letter, the company wrote back and asked, okay, will you settle $4,375? Now, I'm not an attorney. I don't give legal advice. I'm not an esquire, just a person that knows the law and has helped other people um, save thousands, as well as myself, from debt collectors. And I said, no, go back a second time, because under the law, they have to validate the debt before you will be legally bound, right, to owe it or to pay it. That's law, and it stands up in every court, and it's in place for you. So a debt collector, if they send you a letter in the mail and they ask you to have, hello, Antonio, and it states that you have 30 days to validate the debt, you definitely need to exercise that 30 days, because that 30 days will save you hundreds or thousands of dollars. Now, this is my own personal, you can see my name, um, from a debt collector. And I did ask for validation. And you know what they did? They sent me back itemized statement, and it was for a medical debt, and say, okay, this is your validation. This is the bill. And not only is this against my privacy, where they should not know what services I received and how much I was assessed or charged for those services, right? Because that's a violation of HIPAA. And I'm already free and clear to that. I just want to show you as an example. So it's a violation of the Health Insurance Privacy Accountability Act, right? But it also is not that validation. An itemized or a printout of services, whether it's medical or if it's cable, it's cell phone, whatever the debt collector, your light bill entity, a printout of a bill is not validation under the law. So you have to know how to combat that, because a lot of times they will send you a printout of a bill from original creditor. That's not validation under the law. That's not validation under the FTC rule, the Federal Trade Commission, and it will not stand in court. So then the third situation is that, Barbara, I'm not talking about getting it removed from your credit report only. See, that's a lot of people think I'm talking about just get it off my credit report. No, I'm talking about where you don't legally, just like this first one I showed. This is a $17,000 account that a debt collector was trying to collect. I'm talking about if they don't produce validation, accurate validation, which is a notarized statement or document that they have to get from the original creditor, approving that they have the right to collect from you, and it has to be notarized, original, not a copy of the notary, then you don't legally owe the money. I tell people all the time, um, just because you get things deleted off your credit report does not mean creditors, especially if it's from the original creditor, will not attempt to collect from you. Like, okay, student loans, hundreds of student loans have been deleted from people that I consult because the balances were incorrect and they didn't report it accurately. That does not mean student loan won't garnish your check because they will if you stop paying on that account. It's just not showing on your credit report, right? Collections, they can get deleted off your credit report, but if they're still within the statute of limitations and you don't know how to dispute that debt collector directly, then they can still summons you or subpoena you to court. And I also consult people, and I tell people all the time the worst thing you can do is not show up for court. Show up, show up, but show up with knowledge. And so I also give people like a printout, of course, that's not for free, of things they can say so they can know the language and the language and the law in court. A lot of debt collectors win in court because people just don't show up, and they win by default. And now the judge, Oh, great, Barbara. Yes. And so, right, that's what I'm referring to. So when a debt collector send you a letter saying that they cannot validate the debt, then the letter will state as well, and you are not legally obligated to pay this amount. So that's what we want. With debt collectors, it's called validation. With the credit agencies, a lot of people call them bureaus, and they call it incorrect as well. It's called verification. So you have to know the language, and you have to know what law matches, right? So should I do the student forgiveness program, Antonio? That's it's kind of asking me, opening a question. I can't really answer questions if I'm not looking you know, at material or documents or your credit report, for example, that's showing me what your financial situation is. Barbara, I didn't see your comment. Can you re put that in the comments? Oh, no problem, Antonio. If I could have answered and helped you right off the spot, I could. I don't really know, what the big picture is. What are you're trying to do. Like some people ask, should I invest in this and that? I don't give investment advice. I'm not. Oh, thank you. All right, Barbara. Well, how much was the debt that you were free from? Or how much did the debt collector? How much did you not have to owe by knowing that by doing it? Um, should I invest in this? I don't know your financial situation. I don't know what correspondence you've been doing with the original creditor. You don't know. And I tell people all the time too, for charge offs and collection, you want to delete it off your credit report. You can't be paying on them because that legalized the debt, right? You are validating with your payment. All right. So another thing, I discussed trade line, discussed business credit. If you missed that, you need to watch the replay. I discussed debt collectors. So we're waiting on Barbara to see how much free debt she was from disputing a debt collector. This is my own personal letters I get in the mail often. This is Chase Freedom, the one the young man was telling me he's trying to get approved for. Look at that, 0%. Your offer, 0% until 2020 or September. Hey, you all, make sure you like Barbara's. Tell her congratulations, whether you're watching this live on the replay. Barbara saved $3,500 from debt collectors. Now, Barbara, I ought to have a credit church since you learned it from watching me. I ought to pass the offering plate. No, I'm proud for you. I'm just joking. $3,500. Thank you, Barbara, from debt collectors. These are my checks I get in the mail. I won't put that close because my address is on there. Um, you want the Chase Business Inc., Antonio? Yes. Now that's what I'm talking about. Freeing people up from debt collection debt and getting it deleted from their credit report. Both. Doing both because that's the big win is being free from the harassment and the stress and the money of having to pay debt collectors. That's the big win. Getting removed from your credit report is easy because they don't supposed to be reporting on there anyway. They don't have firsthand knowledge of the account situation. That's why you don't owe it, and that's why it gets deleted from your credit report. The only people that can report are companies or business that can report to your credit report are those companies that have firsthand knowledge about you and the accounts and have the documentation to prove what services that was rendered to you. So debt collectors report illegally anyway on your credit report. So getting those removed is easy. Midland funding, portfolio recovery, those are easy wins, right? Charge offs, once some people see charge offs, report on their credit report that has a charge off / a collection. Once that debt is sold, you're not legally obligated for anymore, so they can't report that on your credit report. And then once they sell your debt, then they don't have the documentation to prove it. I don't know if consolidation is good. It depends on where you are financially, um, what options you have to utilize your credit to avoid consolidation because a lot of debt consolidation services they charge you for their services. So that's money that you're spending out to them. Like for me, when I became debt free from my vehicles, one of the first things that I did, you all are watching live and it's only three thumbs up. So I need everyone to hit the X real quick and hit the thumbs up. Let's engage people. And if you can, go ahead and share my live. But one of the things that I did was on my vehicle, for example, I had like a 7% interest rate. Then I learned about how profitable or better it was to be a member of credit unions and get credit union loans, and how credit union loans and the interest rates are always much lower than the bank's interest rates, right? And so went to the credit union, got that car refinanced at 3%, I believe, 3% because it's paid off now. 3% through my credit union, save interest right there. That lowered my payment from like a 564 to 325. Okay. Antonio, thank you so much. All right. Buy your own truck. You definitely need that Chase Business Inc. if you don't have it. So let me know, Antonio. Send me an email. And dumps up our way. Okay, I don't know what that means. But anyway, the that freed up $200 cash flow, but I kept paying it and paying it with the lower interest rates. And then for some people, I know we don't like to discuss this, but bankruptcy might be a better option. It all depends on your assets and what you have, right? Or your future goals. So um, debt collections, that the consolidation companies, they're going to charge you too. So you have to see what's the better investment. Would it be to get your credit fixed and get some things refinanced, to pay off some debts, to get like 0% credit cards offers? Would that be the better investment? Thank you. Oh, I get it now. The thumbs up all the way. I'm sorry. You're telling me you gave me the thumbs up. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Um, or we would invest in your credit repair so you can redo some things, restructure some things financially, right? Or would bankruptcy be a better option if you have assets like a home to include? I really, really, and I'm going to say this, I really get tired of looking at Chapter 7 bankruptcies and people just have charge cards and credit cards in them. You at least have, get a 13 and put your house under. We all like to say, hey, 50 Cent and Donald Trump filed bankruptcy, but they protected some assets. That was a good move for them. Getting our charge card and credit card debt, if you're going to deal with something that can be on your credit report for 7 to 10 years, have bigger stock in the game. That's what I'm saying. Have bigger stock in the game. But if that's where some people are, the good thing about bankruptcies, they are illegal reported as well, and they are deleted. It's a process, but they are deleted because of that off credit reports. So I don't know. I don't like to give advice without looking at something. So hey, I'm signing out. Thanks for tuning in on this lunch and learn. Make sure you all hit the thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, right? Subscribe to my channel. I love my YouTube family, so subscribe, and you always will get the updates and notification when I go live. So take time to hit that subscribe bell, and next to it, subscribe button, and next to it, hit that notification bell. That will send you an email whenever I am live. So make sure you take time to subscribe to the channel as well. Last thing I want to touch is do-it-yourself credit repair letters or templates, right? Are they effective? Are they not? Some people tell me they receive success on it. I find it hard to believe. A lot of people raise their credit scores quickly by paying down department cards and credit cards debt. That will raise your credit score very quick, right? So if you are in high debt with department stores and credit card, thank you, Rome. Thank you so much. Paying down those balances will raise your credit score very, very quickly. And so when you have do-it-yourself letters like this, and I purchased this do-it-yourself program from a millionaire, a financial guru, right? And I purchase do-it-yourself products all the time because I just want to know, if it's something out there that works. And they suggested you do handwritten letters and blah blah blah. And I'm like, this is trash. And this person making money by selling this product because nothing in this letter gives you the law of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And you can have the language, which the language is not even good in my opinion, right? But I could read some of it. Uh, like it's one line says, "You have not given me any evidence that you have acted in a prompt or fair and equitable manner. I have contacted you on 3 previous occasions to correct these items on my credit report. To date, you still have not fulfilled obligations under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which requires your company as a credit agency to maintain and ensure that our information is fair and equitable to the customer." Had you had the law to support that, it helps you. No matter if it's handwritten. A lot of people, talk about the handwritten thing because it bypasses the 𝒢𝒾𝓋𝑒, which is an electronic system that scans these letters. But let me tell you something, all of them are scanned, handwritten or not, because they don't have the manpower to manually read the thousands of disputes they get in from people or consumers every day. What makes credit deletions or updates successful, people, is if you have the law and the language and your basis for disputing that item, right? If you have the law and the language, and this is nothing but wasted time in my opinion. That they haven't maintained the accuracy and relevancy and proper use of your file, then you should have the law that states, according to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, you should report 100% accurate information. So that's what makes credit results powerful, right? So stop buying these AU trade lines only if you want to get approved for a vehicle or another credit card, or you want to use it as a strategy to get higher credit limits approved on business credit. But with business credit, you have to have your primary trade lines. And if you don't have a $5,000 or $10,000 credit card already, but you have good credit, means you have no negatives reporting in 2 years and no bankruptcies at all, and you don't have any hard pulls on your credit report, then start with My Jewelers Club and New Coast Direct. Those charge cards are $5,000 credit limit. Once you get those, once you have 5 or less inquiries, you have no negatives. Another thing about late payments is that you want to make sure you have no late payments in 2 years. But you also want to make sure that when you are getting credit help or consultation, that they just don't delete your entire account because you have 1 or 2 late payments. If that account in the past has been paid uh, in good standing, if you've, in other words, if you have more positive payment history than negative, maybe you had a 30-day late, you want to get that late payment updated to reflect it was not late and get those late payments for that 30-day or 60-day updated to show paid as agreed on time versus getting an entire account deleted, because that will hurt you 45% of your credit score. This is how 15% of your FICO score, your true credit score, what the lenders and banks use, is calculated um, off of, I can't think right off the top of my head. Your payment history, I'm sorry, it took me a while. But 30%, right? 30% is also your payment history, but 15% is but it's 45%. I'm not looking at talking about so much right now. A total of 45%, because all that calculates into your payment history and how you're paying. So if you get 30% of your history wiped out, then 15% of how you're how you're paying, whether it's on time or late or timely, then that's 45% of your credit score. So you definitely need to look in credit reversal with late payments. Because then if you wipe out an account that you've had for years, especially if it was a primary account, a Visa, MasterCard, Discover, and Amex, then now you have to get new credit, right? Which will require you to get an inquiry on your credit report. And usually what they want to look at for business credit is that their new credit is seasoned, or their credit card or their account is seasoned, right? They want to see that you've had cards or credit cards on your account for at least 6 months or more. Right. So then I went on after I got my $10,000 business credit and I got a Navy Federal personal card for $25,000. So then when I applied for my next business credit card, guess what the rate was? You all put that in the comment. Okay, because business credit limits will mirror your personal credit limits. Hey, I'm signing out. Thanks for tuning in. Go work out. Gotta work on my website and work on some things. Reach out to me, email if you want any consultation on your paycheck, increase your cash flow, credit, or processes for my business for business credit consultations, whether you're in real estate or you in trucking, automotive business, and you need business credit to help you fund your credit and your dreams. I'm signing out according to credit. This is Credit Church. And also comment Proverbs 15 and 22, right? Comment Proverbs 15 and 22 in the comments. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a magnificent money